Hey guys, Ultimate here, and today we are working on my 2003 Infiniti G35. As I'm taking all that stuff apart, I'm going to be replacing my cam sensor. This is my knock sensor, and this is a knock sensor harness right here. The knock sensor sits all the way down at the bottom of the intake plenum. So let's get started. We're going to start taking stuff apart so we can get down to where we need to get down to. Alright, to start, these are 10 mils that are all held on. I think I'm gonna attack right here, start removing this this intake right here, and let's keep moving. So try to take you out. Work that out. Pull this up and out. Just like that. There we go. Good, just like that. Okay, pull you up and out. Good, good, good. I'm gonna place this to the side. There, all that being off, let us start working off the things that are attached to the upper plenum, like this hose right here, like that. Whew. All right, you're out. Good. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna wrap this. Hold on, I'll show you guys how I do this when I'm done. We're going to get this off next. There you go. Vacuum up. I'm just gonna leave it like that for right now. For the most part, I unplugged everything that is connected to the upper plenum. Now I'm gonna start removing all these bolts. Before that, I'm going to mark these so that I remember where these hoses go. Give me a second. All right, as you can see, I marked my hoses with some masking tape so that when you're taking so many things apart, you don't forget hoses, you don't forget electrical connectors. You don't want to mix things up or completely not put them on and have problems when you put it back together. That's a way of how I keep track of things. Alright, now I'm just going to start removing a bunch of 10mm bolts all over the place, and I'll get back to you. Okay, one thing I'm going to do before I keep going, before I pull the plenum up off, I'm going to remove my negative terminal. I'm doing this because I'm removing the throttle body. I'm removing a lot of sensors. Anytime you're taking a lot of sensors off, just take the battery off, save yourself the trouble. So that's what I'm going to do. Jesus. There we go. And up and out she goes. Good. Now we can take this out. Alright. I guess I'm gonna have to remove this. Like so. I'm just gonna break them all. Alright. That is the last one. Oh, and the gasket, I literally heard it hit the ground. So, okay, let us remove these two right here. All right, these are definitely coolant lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these little pinchers right here so that before this comes off, we're not leaking coolant everywhere. Now we're out. Coolant from leaking out, and I'm gonna wrap these with a color so I don't forget these, because I start the motor up without attaching these, and coolant's gonna start shooting right out. So I'm gonna wrap these two. This is what our lower plenum looks like. We're gonna clean this thing up too. Got a good feeling that this is gonna look pretty disgusting down here. I'll be putting the oil catch can on this car very soon, but we're gonna clean all this too. We're gonna make it try to look new. We're gonna remove these 2, 4, 6 bolts. I think these 2 bolts right here hold the fuel rail on, and then we'll pull this up. I do want to mention something here about organization. I have all my upper plenum bolts in here, my lower plenum bolts in here. This is how I don't confuse the bolts, is now I don't mix anything up. Now let's take this plate off. Look. Okay, I'll clean this all up too. But I'll take it out. What the hell? Put that here. Put this back here so I don't forget that. Put this away. All right. What we're gonna do here is right now we're gonna cover these holes. These holes go directly into our intake valves. We do not want anything to fall in there. Bolt anything, it will be ugly. Or even though we're gonna take this off anyway, still don't want that to fall. So I could pull up the what do you call these? The injectors, but I really don't want to. This is also a great time to do injectors if you got the money. I ain't got that much bread on me, but I might just pull off this rail right here, up here, and then pop out this lower plenum so I can get access to the knock sensor down there. Let me think about what I'm gonna do here. Okay, instead of me pulling off the entire fuel rail, I think I'm just gonna remove these 2 bolts right here. These R10s. Be prepared to see some fuel. It's gonna be expected. It is the fuel rail. Okay, good, and that popped out. And just like that, we removed the fuel rail line. I'm gonna put something around here because that's gas. We don't want that just be leaking everywhere. I'm just gonna kind of wrap it like this, just like that. You don't want no fires. Gasoline is very flammable. I think I'm gonna do here is I'm going to remove these injector sensors, and I see that they're numbered. Some of them are fading away, but I'm still gonna put more masking tape on different ones so that I don't forget the order that they're in. Okay, so pop these off. Should be as simple as pushing it in, popping them out, just like that. So I'm gonna pop all these out, label them, get back to you. Okay, notice that I have all the sensors color coded to the injector. These are orange, blue, green here. On this other side I have, there we go, I have red, pink, yellow. That's so that, you know, if I have to pull this harness up, I don't get the fuel injectors confused. Now we have to remove this lower plenum here. They're 12mm bolts. Some of these bolts are like right on the fuel rail, so I noticed that if I remove the fuel rail bolts, which are right here, these are 12s. See here, attack them, just pop those off. Now with those bolts off, there is 1, 2, 3, it's basically a bunch of 12mm that go like zigzagging across. What I'm gonna do is, now that I have that little bit of space, like, see how I can now like move this a little bit, I can fit my 12 in there like so, and start basically removing all these bolts just like this. I'm just gonna do this a bunch of times over, and then we'll keep going. So like I said, same way you see me removing these is the way you do the same thing. Okay, and then I'll just go all the way down the line here and just pop that off for the lower plenum bolts as well, so we don't get nothing confused. We know where these go. This is my last tray. with my plenum bolts right here, with the fuel rail disconnected, all the things out, all these out. Little trick here is if you know you have any issues, get a small little magnet, reach it in there, and you can pull the bolts out as you're spinning them. So now, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm actually gonna vacuum in here, because since once we open this, we should be looking directly into the intake valves. I'm gonna get a vacuum in here and clean all this up so we don't have any issues. Just like that. And lift you up and out. And bam, she's out. All right, now all the way down there is our knock sensor. We're gonna take that out and we're gonna replace that harness. Before we do that though, let's take a look at these valves in here. And I would say that is not bad at all. Not bad, you guys. Alright, now same thing as we did before. We're going to cover these holes. Now I'm gonna vacuum in here again, and we'll get that knock sensor out. All right, 12 mil right here, and just gonna crack this off. With that off, now we'll pull this connector. Not even that we need to. There you go, just like that, and pull this off. And this is a NTK KNE20, so we're going to compare this to our other one. Our other one is an NTK as well. It just has a Duralast brand, but it does say OEM NTK KNE20. All right, we're going to look into that. What we do now is, oh wow, this is actually attached right here. That's interesting. But we follow this harness, and the harness goes down here somewhere. Okay, let me see. I may have to get up underneath of the car for this one, you guys. Harness looks like it follows somewhere down here, so give me a second. All right, let's see if we can find this harness. I'm going in through the passenger side. I'm looking at it. If you follow that pipe, you see that connector right there, got oil on it. That's what we're targeting right there. It's too hard to record, but simply remove it, and then we'll go from there. I'll see if I can kind of relocate this maybe. I really don't like the spot where it sits at. So that's your connector right here. Look up to the passenger side. It's right above the exhaust manifold. And there you go, so pop that out. Okay, so here is the knock sensor harness. It was actually not easy to remove. It basically sat on here like this. This way. Like this right here. I got my little, got this pick tool. I push this tab in. Push that tab in. You can pull this out of there like that, and then the other side is down there. I can't show you, but mine's didn't come out, so I had to basically get my pick tool like in here like this and pop it up off the clip, and it pulled out. It looks like that the harness was like tied together like this, so I'm gonna see if I can get a razor in here and kind of just cut it off. Be gentle enough not to damage any wires. And if any wires is exposed after I cut it, I'll just wrap more tape around it, electrical tape. Good. This is the old harness. Let's get the new one. Okay. Remember, old harness, new harness. Basically what happens is, this wires look thicker too, which is good, but what happens is it's so deep in here, it gets so hot, things just start to break on you. It's just part of the game. So now what I'm going to do is, it was this connector right here. I'm going to feel my hand back here, and this is the harness right here. It's hard to see, very hard to see from where you guys are going to be at, but I removed it from that bracket because I'm going to make the harness go right here. Tucking it all the way up underneath it there, it just felt stupid, so I'm going to put it right here and just snap it in. Trying to think if there's a smarter spot. So just to show you, this is a NTK sensor. It's basically NGK. NTK is just their oxygen brand and different things like that. But it's an NTK KNE20. The one I have is a this is a OEM NTK. It just has a Duralast brand on it, but it literally says OEM KNE. And right here, we're gonna put this in. It matches up. So this is the manual transmission version too. I don't know if the automatic ones are different. It's time to eat? Okay, here I come, son. All right, so now I'm going to put this in here, lay it down, and then just bolt it up. Okay, I'm losing daylight, so I got the knock sensor attached. I got the wire all set up. This gets torqued to 17 foot-pounds. Oh wow, look at that, that's money. Okay, good. With that being said, before I call it a night, I want to get these cam sensors off back here. It's one right here with that green tab, and there's another one right here on this side. Need to go down. There you go. And I'm just gonna work this off. The reason why I'm replacing these is they have a gasket in them, okay? If I replace these valve covers and God forbid we start seeing motor leak down, you start seeing oil leak down the back of the motor, a lot of people think they didn't do the valve cover right. No, it's because the cam sensors have gaskets on them and they leak. So with that being said, we're gonna pull it out, put a new one in. We went all the way down here anyway, might as well get it done. Alright, if you see here, this is the new one. This is a Hitachi. Part number's right here, Hitachi CPS0008. This is on the passenger side. Don't get anything else. Make sure you get the OEM one, okay? Notice how this gasket is nice and poofy. Know how this gasket is super flat. It'll leak right past it. I'm gonna put a little bit of silicone on this. Just go around the gasket so it seals good. We're gonna stick this in, tighten it down, and we're gonna go on the driver's side and do that. Basically goes in here like this, and then it pops. I don't know if that means it's all the way in or what, but if I push it forward, it pushes it out. So I guess that means this is in. I guess that means that's all the way in. Okay. So I'm just gonna wrap it down here and place it in there. Just like that. There we go. And there you go. And that thing snapped right in. That's beautiful. Got our 10 mil right here. Boom, that's it. On this side it's easier. Just hand spin it out. There you go. And she's out. Okay, this one has like no play in it, so you have to give me a minute. New sensor. Put some silicone around it, pop it in just like I did the last one. Like I said, it's weird. You push that clip in and it actually like pushes it out, and when you push the new one in, it pops all the way out and that's in. It's very weird, but that's how it works. Let me get this one in. Alright, we got the passenger side cam sensor in right there. The new driver side one in right here. I'm gonna call it a night for now, and we will continue in the morning. I have my fuel rail, especially one of the most important things. If you're reusing the seal, cool. I have a kit full of O-rings, so put a little silicone on and slide that in, snug them down. Your cam sensors are in, fuel injectors are in, hose is in. This cam sensor down here especially, very sneaky hidey spot, that's in. Oxygen sensor is in. I'll put that 10 mil on right there. Remember to get your gasket that comes with the kit. I put the part number, put this on. It lines up on these splines. You got to make sure you put it on the right way. I'm gonna pull these napkins out. We got our plenum here. I cleaned up the line. I cleaned up the galley passway, all this. We're gonna get this right back on here like that, and then we'll put it all back together. Okay, so give me a second. This goes right here. Remember, everything I got is labeled, so for me it's just going to be putting it all back, and I'll show you the torque sequence here, but just put all your hoses, fuel line stuff back together. Alright, same concept, inch pounds. 114 inch pounds is about 9.5 pounds. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, cool. Remember, there's a line that runs from your PC valve right here to here. Install that hose. We have our fuel line connected under here. It's our evap and stuff. We'll connect this hoses and coolant lines to the upper plenum. I'm just about to the end with this. Got my new bolts on. Everything's all around. Vacuum line going in. Vacuum line going in. Evap line. This is the sensor here. Mounted up. Here. Running here. I have my coolant hoses running underneath of the plenum. Remember that. Do not forget those coolant hoses. You start your car, you're gonna have coolant pouring out the back of your motor. Not good. You got your throttle body gasket right here. Make sure you got your sensor plugged in. Okay. With all that being said, now we're just gonna put our intake on. I will put up a description or a diagram of the torque sequence. I found that around 70 inch pounds felt like the best version. Just to give you guys an example, like I said, right here about 70 pounds. 1, 2. Remember, you start in 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. I just don't feel like doing it all over again. I'm tired. But like I said, 70 inch pounds felt like the best number for this. Word to the wise. Only thing I had to do to kind of make this fit perfectly was just kind of make sure you don't snug any bolts down. Make sure they all spin in, and then you can start snugging them all down. Start in the middle, transition out. The one thing I'm going to tell you guys is this: these bolts are long and they're thin. I found that 70 inch pounds felt good. Anytime you're turning one of these bolts and you feel like the bolt is starting to get loose instead of getting snug, just stop. Stop. If you keep going, you'll snap the bolt off inside the plenum, and you're going to have to take it off. You're going to have to extract it. Just don't do it. If you feel like the bolt's getting too snug and you feel like it's going to get loose, just stop. But like I said, 70 inch pounds felt perfect for this. So now we're just going to work on getting this intake on. Let's get our intake right here. And basically line this little dimple down here. And perfect. Pull this out. Put this in. And there's a plastic clip here and here. Alright. Got a lot of work done here right now. Intake, everything on. All these bolts are right here are for the engine cover. But first things first, we checking on everything. We have everything put back. That's what I like to see. Now all we got to do is I just got to clean off everything, and we're going to fire the car up and we're going to see what happens. Alright, last thing to do is put this battery on. Might get a little spark or something, just be ready. Okay, didn't hear much anything. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Alright, and then hit this with a little bit of battery corrosive spray. Like that. Like that. Cap on. Let's get inside the vehicle. Alright, we're in the car. Let's get our key. We're not just going to turn it immediately. We're going to prime it like 2 times. Remember, we took the fuel line off. There should be no real fuel pressure in the line. So, we're just going to crank it once to the on position. That's 1. We're going to do 2. Now 3 is the good number. Here we go. Alright. We're running, you guys. Okay. Let's go outside. Let's look at the vehicle. And my God, you guys. She's running like a bird. Oh my God, she sounds so good. Now, I did take the battery off, so I need to let this run for a while. Doesn't sound like I need to do any kind of throttle body relearn right now. I'm gonna let it run. If I have any issues, I'll do any more recording, but she sounds so good right now. Can't wait to take her for a drive. Thanks for watching, you guys. Till next time, out.